not be with, like working with someone, taking in somebody's stuff. And so this allows me to kind of get away.
Yeah.
And so I like to not have my phone, with me. And I just like to sit here listening to music and talk. We both listen to a lot of punk music. And we talk about punk music. We talk about, life outside of my job.
Yeah.
And I don't want my job to be my identity. So this is actually dogs, tattoos, music, and the gym has become like my new recovery at like 19 years sober.
Wow.
Music's been a big part of my life, like I said, for years. And I want, because it's been such a big part of my life in my past, addiction and everything else, and now today even more so.
That's pretty cool.
That's what I want. I mean, that's what I want on me, because that's part of my identity, is that I listen to heavy metal music, and I like to write about it, and I certainly like to collect vinyl, and it's just such a big part of my passion. So why not put some of these bands on me as good reminders? And then some of the other reminders are places I don't want to go back to, and things like, when you're sitting in jail for a year per se, and that's all you have to look at every day.
Right.
You start to think, well, how is this? This is something I'll never forget.
Something you'll never forget, and like, what are the odds this is what ended up here with me, and what does that mean anything or not?
Right.
Yeah.
And so it's a good way for me to look and remember that time and go, hey, listen, I don't ever want to go back there.
Right.
Plus, I do like leaving Rochester and coming to Casson and hanging out with these guys. They're probably
it's the coolest shop ever.
It really is.
It really
when you walk
is.
in here, swords, music, cool guys. It's like it's heaven for me. So,
when was your first tattoo?
First tattoo was
ever.
1989.
Okay.
I'm aging myself. I was 21. And it was at Tiger Lilies in Stockton, Minnesota.
Okay.
Because I was living in Winona. And somebody wanted a tattoo, but they didn't want to go by themselves. And I said, I'll go with you. And then the person said, well, if you go with me, I'll get you one. And so I got this tiny little Tasmanian devil that's been covered up, of course.
Which, if you weren't around in '89, that was like...
That was the thing.
That was the thing.
It's the thing.
It was really cool.
There was a lot of them. And so I got a little one there. And then I didn't get another one until, I believe, 94. I got an Egyptian symbol right here.
Oh, cool.
And then I didn't get another one until I turned 50.
No way.
Yeah. I just wanted to be done with all my schooling. I wanted to be done with my licensure stuff. And then I wanted to celebrate that. So I kind of, grind away. And then I thought, I got one. And the first one I got was 9.5 hours is what it took. I couldn't do it in one sitting. I tapped out after like 7. And that was the Fear of the Dark, Eddie from Iron Maiden.
That is
Fear of the Dark one. So he did that one in 2018. So, right after I got my master's degree, I ended up getting this one. And then it just grew, and I just kept filling it in. It's like a puzzle, right? You just fill it in with different things.
Mm-hmm. And the more you do it, the more you want to fill it in.
I know.
Yeah.
It's like an addiction, but I call it a healthy addiction.
I think it's a healthy addiction of the addictions that are out there, right? It's a healthy addiction. But it's also an investment. And it's so many things. It's beautiful art. It's this kind of treat to yourself, investment in yourself. But we were talking about ink therapy, and I think maybe for people that haven't had, aren't into it, are like, I don't understand what you guys are doing. Why would you do that? There's something really therapeutic about putting these images on your body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it used to be almost forbidden. Getting a tattoo.
Totally. Oh, the first one I had, I didn't tell anyone for a million years. My sister found out, and I said, okay, here's the deal. If you don't tell mom and dad, you can use it whenever you need to get out of jail free card. And so she kept that in her back pocket, and then she, I think, got her belly button pierced or something, and she walked in the door and she went, Jesse has a tattoo. And my parents were like, what? Oh. Well, tell me about this tattoo you're getting.
This one is pretty simple. I was thinking of different ways to lie to you about what the purpose is of this, because everything's supposed to have a purpose, right?
Right.
But I think I can tell you that, for me, a lot of my tattoos come from music I used to listen to back in the day.
Yeah.
For example, one of my tattoos was, I remember sitting in I had an 8-month jail sentence to do. This was a long, long time ago. And I had one cassette tape. And on the cover of the cassette tape was this, was a band. And I thought to myself, if I ever get my stuff together, to memorialize this and put it somewhere so I could remember where I don't want to go back to. So then I got that. This particular one, though, I got this right after COVID, because this is back during the Black Death years back in the 1350s in like Europe.
Yeah.
They had this was Pesta, the plague hag. So during COVID, I wanted to be protected, so I got this, and I never got COVID. So
no way.
So I'm saying it had to be because of the tattoo.
Obviously.
But once I got a few of these, so this is an Iron Maiden one. And this was a Misfits one, which is perfect for Halloween.
Yes.
So a lot of these are band logos and different band albums. So
But music is something that
music is
resonates
huge.
with us.
Oh yeah, and it followed me through from my struggles into my recovery. And I was afraid that it wouldn't. Like when I got sober, I wasn't going to be able to go and enjoy concerts because I thought everybody got drunk and went to concerts, and I found out that really only about 10% of the people do. So
it's a huge change though when you think this is what me and my friends do. Now what do we do?
Right.
Like, can I still enjoy these things? That's a huge concern for people.
Right.
Yeah.
But so I had the theme, right? And so I thought I got to stick with the theme. So what I do is I usually look for something that's somewhat dark, and something that I feel would look good with the rest of what I have.
Yeah.
So it's not for the faint of heart. Most of these are.
No.
But as Chris usually says, every time I get a tattoo is, that's dope. So if he is going to agree,
high praise.
If he's going to agree with that, then I'm going to keep getting them, because that's the only really opinion that really matters to me, to be honest with you.
As long as you get a that's dope from Chris.
The tattoo artists themselves. So anyway, I don't know. I search these out. Usually look for tattoo artists and that do work similar to this, and then I just go to town.
This is a gorgeous piece.
These are really darkly beautiful.
They are. They're gorgeous.
And that's really part of it. Is that one spoke to me. That to me is the Queen of Bedlam right there. And it was one of my favorite books that I read when I was younger. So that one stuck. And so when I saw it, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to get that. And so I sent it to James, and he said sick, and I said, then we're doing it. End of story.
So for you, what would you say mental health benefits?
The number one mental health benefit that I can think of is just, I think the reduction of anxiety. I think it also helps with depression, especially when you can get something nice on your leg. I like the confidence part of it as well, and kind of the self-worth and self-esteem that somebody might feel by getting one of those, and then being able to walk around and having kind of like something.
I was just going to say, there is a confidence. I don't know if I've thought of that before, but there is a confidence that you kind of need to be able to walk around, and then people ask you all the time too. And you're like, oh, was I ready to tell that story? I'm not sure if I was, but it actually then does build your confidence in sharing your story, whatever that might be. And then you connect with people too. I think that's a cool part about it. But then people connect and they want to share their story with you.
And also, I think a lot of people that struggle with, depression, anxiety, maybe PTSD or things like that, they have a low self-worth all the time, but this gives them kind of, I don't want to say a purpose, but maybe a part of an identity. Where they start to feel like, this is it boosts a little dopamine and serotonin, and then it might create a healthier hobby than, let's say, like an adolescent that, a lot of adolescents that I've worked with in the past were cutters, self-harm.
Yes.
And this is just the opposite of that.
It's
yes, there's a little pain to it, but it's creating a lasting
something
image
beautiful.
on you. So it almost can, kind of give you a different perspective.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, and I think that's what we need is, more reminders of the good things.
Yeah. That is a really good part of it too, that you constantly are having that reminder. And whether and people might not understand, like, I put this on my body to remind me not to go back there. I overcame that.
Yes.
And that I'm not there anymore, and I continue to overcome that day after day, which is pretty cool.
It is. It's way cool. There's things from the past that, in my case, that I'm not very proud of, but one thing that I am proud of is the resilience part.
Yeah.
Being resilient, and that's what we try to teach people, and
we all
come in
fall.
for people for therapy is to be resilient, to bounce back from adversity.
Yeah.
So I can look at, adverse situation, but I'm not there today.
No.
And I could be doing a heck of a lot worse things on a Friday afternoon on Halloween than getting a tattoo. I'll tell you that
true.
right now.
This
so
is
this
true.
is actually cool.
Yeah. There's plenty of trouble to be had if you're looking for it, for sure. We're in Casson, by the way, at Six of Swords, and with James.
Yeah.
Where's the name come from?
So the tarot decks, the swords cards in the tarot deck, I was really enamored with the swords because I was like, man, that's some cool imagery. The first one that really grabbed my attention was the Ten of Swords. Talking with my wife, she was like, there's some really bad things associated with the Ten of Swords, man. She was like, why don't you think about like the Six of Swords? Because that's a pretty positive card.
Okay.
And I was like, okay. So then I looked up the definition of Six of Swords.
Yeah.
It's a evaluation of kind of like, what are the things that are holding you back and what things do you need to let go of in order to move into your higher self kind of thing. And so that really resonated with me. So I was like, Six of Swords has got to be it.
That's it.
And so I was like why tattooing? Why you feel how you feel like after a tattoo? And a lot, I tell people all the time that like I feel like tattooing is a very spiritual thing in the sense that like you feel so like powerfully inward that you want to show the world outwardly something.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
And so then, okay, what's that process look like? So then you go through and you get tattooed, which is an uncomfortable process to get tattooed.
Yeah.
Right? So then you go through, and then by the time you get to the end of it, there is like a culmination of like the process of getting it to the end.
Yes.
Where you're like, what am I doing? Because you go through all the stages.
You do, yeah. I'm just like
what am I doing here again? Like, why am I doing this?
It's like
to
giving
myself?
birth. That's what I always thought.
Yeah.
It's like, how am I here again?
Right? Like,
what was I thinking?
Why am I putting myself through this? I say it almost every time I get tattooed. But then, man, by the time you're done with it, you learn something about yourself.
Yes.
There's always been kind of like a shamanistic like approach to tattooing.
This is really cool to talk about because you feel that.
Oh, absolutely.
But as far, again, like trying to put words or trying to explain that to people who maybe haven't had the process done, it's like, it's a spiritual experience.
Super. In fact, some of the first like documented like healers in like anthropology were tattoo artists. Tattooing is like a form of therapy. You know,
it is.
And one of the things that I like to kind of like point out with tattooing is like, one, you get to know a lot about yourself through, like we talked about
the process.
You're just like,
because it's hours long.
Yeah. Because at first, you're right. Like when you first get it started, it's like, well, this is uncomfortable. But then like your endorphins kick in.
Yep.
And you get kind of used to it.
Yep.
But like especially long tattoos, like Tim's tattoos.
Yeah.
Like, man, there's a point in it where you're kind of like, your endorphins run out, and then it's a mental game. And then it's like, how far am I willing to go for this kind of thing?
No,
and,
it's true. You know, when we were like in the middle here,
God, yeah, in the ditches here.
I looked down, and she, had a lot of the outline, but not like hardly any of the pink. And I thought, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this.
Yeah. How am I going to do this? And then like you think that to yourself, but also you're just kind of like, no, I can do this. I can do this.
Yep.
And then, man, the catharsis you feel at the end of it, where you're like, not only are you left with something beautiful on your body, but you're like, I did that. I made it through that. Like, what else can I make it through?
Right? You're like, let's go. The mental health benefits that you see some people.
Oh man, so there's so many things to it because like, you guys are even talking I heard you guys chatting a little bit about even like people that come in and they have like self-harm scars or something like that. A lot of times we have clients that will kind of like shift their way of like dealing with things, and they'll be like, no, you know what, I want to get tattooed instead.
Cool.
Because it's a pain that
I'm choosing.
We choose to do this, and it's a pain that they choose to go through.
Yeah.
And not only that, but then afterwards they have something really beautiful to look at instead of scars. And not only that, there's a healing aspect to that too, because a lot of times people ask us like, can you cover these up? I would like to have a little bit better of a memory instead of like looking at these scars and stuff and just remembering the pain. Because again, every mark, they probably remember like why they did it.
I never thought about that.
They do that. It's the same thing.
It is the same thing.
It correlates the same.
Yep.
And so instead of looking at those things, there can be like, if I cover this with something beautiful, I can remember that instead. And that's a huge thing. And not only that, but a lot of times what will happen, and I think it's one of the most magical things in tattooing really, is like when you get an opportunity to do that, when you get an opportunity to kind of like cover those up for someone, a lot of times the trauma of like getting tattooed like to the skin will kind of like one, like during the process, those scars really kind of like start to puff out.
Do they? Oh,
when they do that,
yeah.
a lot of people will be like, oh man, is it going to be worse? Are they going to be more pronounced? But they do it because of the fact that like the skin is reacting, and it has to react differently because of scar tissue.
Oh yeah.
But because you like are packing ink into it and everything like that, you're essentially like re-agitating the skin. And by the time it heals, a lot of times it homogenizes, and the scars are a lot less noticeable.
Oh, I just
so how great is that?
It's
because not only can you help kind
process.
of like break up that like scar tissue and everything within it, but like they're left with something a little more profound and a better representation of like dealing with something.
Do you find people want to kind of share as that's coming out through the process?
Yeah. Oh man, there's so many people that like while they're doing it, they talk about like, I was in this place, and this is one of the reasons that like I started to do this when I was young and I didn't know how to cope, or I was, this happened to me, and this is one of the reasons that I did this kind of thing, and I don't want to have that memory anymore, and I don't want to associate with it anymore. The timestamp of being like, this is when I can say no more of this.
Yeah.
And I'm going to choose to think differently, and I'm going to choose to like look at things differently.
Yeah.
So I like that aspect.
It's so good.
Of it.
Well, and then now you've got this beautiful art on your wrist or wherever, and I would think when those patterns want to come back,
then you could be like, wow,
you're like,
to this thing?
Exactly.
Every tattoo is a timestamp,
Yes,
and I love
think
that
so
about
too.
tattooing
Me
as well,
too.
because you can point to. I mean, I have plenty of tattoos that are kind of silly and whatever.
Yep.
But like, I can point back to those tattoos and know exactly what was going on.
Right.
And I can, and there's a power in that too.
Do you have a story you want to share?
I
know
so
you.
many.
I can tell you've got lots. But,
one of my favorites is probably this one. Like, so this is Gandalf's pipe.
Cool, I love it.
So, and Jose, our apprentice, did this one on me. Probably too early to do a hand tattoo, like when he first started to do them. But I was like, you know what, man, I just really want this.
Yeah.
Because I was going through some stuff, and I was just kind of like, I need something to remind me of like to not get down and not to like, despair kind of thing.
Well, just when you brought up your thumb, just the joy that came out of you, it's
this
like,
is arguably one of my favorite tattoos, just because there's so much to it. Because like, again, it was kind of like in a low spot.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I want something to kind of, I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan.
It's so cool.
And one of my favorite moments in Lord of the Rings is when Frodo says to Gandalf, I wish the ring had not come to me, and I wish none of this had happened.
Yeah.
And Gandalf then tells him, so do all who see such times, but that's not for them to decide. What's theirs to decide is what to do with the time that is given to them. And I love that.
Yeah.
And so I come back to that, and it's something that I remember often, but I wanted some kind of visual representation of it. Also, I get to do this.
Okay, that's cool.
So it's like a fun,
but it's
cheeky
true.
kind of like thing.
It is.
So like, but
it was multiple
cool,
layers.
Yeah, and I was like, I just need something, man. I just need something to just like remind me not to focus on the bad things all the time, and just be like, no, there's good out there, man, and like. That's worth exploring.
It is.
See a lot of people coming in, and they might be going through something, and they're just like, or they like maybe had lost someone, or they want something to remember people by. There's plenty of, everyone has a story where they're like, oh, I want to get a tattoo for this person because they meant so much to me, kind of thing. And those are some of my favorite tattoos to do for people too, because a lot of times people will come in and their immediate kind of response to doing a tattoo for someone else is like, well, I want to do their name, and I want to do the day or their birth date and the day they passed and everything like that. But I'll always challenge them.
Oh, good.
My go-to is to kind of immediately challenge that, because I'll be like, hey, like, their name.
True. You're not going to forget their name.
You know the day they were born, and you know the day they were died. And those things are important. But are they the most important? Is that what that person meant to you? Like, why don't we think about, like, maybe a memory that you specifically have with them?
Oh, yeah.
And so when you do that, and when you get in front of it, then you're not putting a tombstone on them.
Right.
Where it's like, it's good to remember people that way, but tombstones are tombstones, and you can have that space dedicated to, like, mourning their loss, but you could also celebrate them by being like, well, I really did this with them, and like maybe
Yeah.
we think about that instead, because it's like it's about shifting the focus on it.
The focus.
So Jim did a wonderful job of designing a cribbage board for my grandpa, who
cool.
every Christmas, every
Yep.
holiday we ever had, like he was playing cribbage with us and my
Cool.
uncles and everything like that. So when he passed, I was like, I want to get a cribbage board for
That's
my grandpa.
very cool.
Because that's what I remember about
Yeah.
my grandpa, his like love for his family and his willingness to like always kind of like, you know,
Yeah.
he was always down for a cribbage game.
Yep.
And it was a good
And I
back
was
and
going to
forth.
say, and then you're spending,
Yeah.
you know, quality time together, which
Yeah.
not everybody's willing to do that.
Yeah, so shifting it to something a little
That's
more
very
positive is a
cool.
better way to look at it. And so that's the plus side of kind
Yeah.
of like our job, is we can be like, well, this is a painful thing.
Right.
You know, and like, and the power of tattooing can be like, well, let's look at this and put it in a better mindset. So that way you're not bummed when you look at your tattoo. You're
Right.
not bummed
It's
over
not
the
like
fact that person is
that
now
day.
gone.
Yep.
You then remember the fact that you got the time with them and
Yeah.
the things that you did with them. The one that kind of hits close to us is like we lost a friend to suicide a few years ago.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of people that were like really close with Luke, and
Yeah.
we loved Luke, and he was very close with us.
Yeah.
And like so we helped his like brothers and his his family kind of like go through that by tattooing. He has some flash over here on the wall.
Oh, wow.
And so he did those while he was in Hawaii right before he passed. And we keep those up in honor of him
That's
to
so
remember
cool.
Luke.
Yeah.
But his brothers, they wanted something where they were like, I got to get something for Luke.
Yeah.
And they wanted, so they were pretty quick to get his flash. So that was pretty cool.
That is cool.
But there were other people that Luke tattooed or that Luke knew that like they wanted to have something to remember
Wow.
Luke by. And they kind of came in and they were like, I want to do the, his name or his date,
Right.
something like that. And like one of the things that Luke did like monthly, he did a pineapple like giveaway.
Really?
So he would like design a pineapple tattoo, and then he would do like a raffle kind of
No
thing.
way. That is awesome.
Yeah, so then he'd just be like, just put your name in and whatever, and then they'd do a raffle, and then he'd draw a name, and then they'd get a free tattoo for it, kind of thing. And then it would just be the pineapple design. It was super fun, right? And so
Yeah.
that was kind of became the thing where we were just like, let's start doing
Do
pineapples
pineapples for
you know?
Luke?
So when people came in, they were like, well, you want to do one of Luke's pineapples? You want to do something like that? And so we do those instead, and so it's a fun way to just
That
be
is
like,
so
hey,
fun.
look.
Yeah.
So
It
I've
makes
got
you
one for you,
smile.
yeah.
Oh, I got to see.
I've got this. I'm hairy, so like, good luck seeing
This
it.
looks great.
But yeah, so we've got my little pineapple sticking out.
I love the pineapple.
Yeah, so like, I mean, there's a lot of stories like that where we get people coming in and they're like, they're going through something and they were like,
Yeah.
I really want to help do something to kind of get me through it. I love tattooing. Like, I think it's one of the most like gratifying things I can do with
I
my
bet.
time.
Yeah.
I love it.
And like you said, what you get to do for people too, that maybe you wouldn't understand if you haven't had a tattoo before. It doesn't
Yeah.
mean you have to. Not
Yeah,
everybody's a
and,
tattoo
yeah,
person.
Not
but
everyone's a tattoo person, and that's okay. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not here to be like, man, try it.
Right,
Because
right.
like some people, they're just like, I don't know, they don't have anything on
Yeah.
me that's worth doing that. To.
Right.
And that's fine.
Yep.
But like, there's a lot of people that are like, you know what, this is worth the time stamp.
Yeah, and it
Let's-
feels very, there's all these aspects to it, all these
Yeah.
layers of art and spirituality, and like you said, there's the cathartic purpose of it. There's
Absolutely.
getting to make something beautiful out of pain that you've been through.
Yeah.
There's just so much involved.
Right?
It's really neat.
It's pretty great.
Oh, it's awesome. Thank you so much for taking the
You're very
time to
welcome.
talk
Thanks
to
for
us
having me.
today.
I geek out on. I don't know why.
I love that
Yeah.
though, because I was like, I don't know if this is cool enough for him.
Oh no, it's cool for sure. And there's a lot of cool things that we can do with it. So, what's the tattoo kind of meaningful?
So
or what's the meaning
it literally
behind it?
started as simple as my mom likes blue and always has like birds.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, oh, maybe a blue jay. So then I was looking up the blue jay, and the female blue jay is as beautiful as the male,
Yeah.
which isn't common. And I loved that. And then it symbolizes like fierce love for your family. They
Yeah.
mate for life, and so they talked about being
yeah.
protective of your like things you love. I'm like, yes,
Yeah.
and that was totally her. But I loved the clear, confident communication. Was like, all right, I'm gonna take it that far, but then let's go, like using my mom's strength to
Yeah.
have that in my life all the way.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
So what I was thinking is we could have the Blue Jay carrying something. And so if there's like a memento that would kind of tie into a memory that you have with your mom,
Sure.
and it can be anything. You know, I've done like Kenworth keys,
Oh,
you know,
cool.
things like that, because they're
Yeah.
like, no, I used to like go and ride with my grandpa and
Oh,
everything like
that's
that, and he would always
cool.
take us for rides in his truck when we were doing long hauls and stuff like that. Like anything like that can really help. Because like,
Okay.
was she like a big gardener, or was she like, did any guys share anything in that regard?
Well, shopping is what we share. So we knew we had these 6 weeks, and the first couple of weeks were just like test, found out, you know, all this, you know, awful
Yeah.
news after awful news after awful news. Then she was in palliative care for about a week and a half, and then for the last 2.5 weeks we were home here in Rochester with hospice. So we knew this was coming. So I got to
Yeah.
talk a lot with her about, you know, what would you like your funeral to be like?
Yeah.
What, you know, what some of those things. So when we talked about what she was gonna, I was like, well, what do you want to wear, Mom?
Yeah.
So we like hair and makeup and clothes and shoes and nails and all the stuff and jewelry.
Okay.
Yeah, so she was like, ooh, I want to wear like a cowgirl outfit. And I was like,
Awesome.
yes, Mom, we are getting a cowgirl outfit. So one of the days she was just in bed all day, and I just crawled into bed with her with my computer, and we like looked at Boot Barn and found what she wanted. So she
Nice.
ended up with, I mean, just a killer outfit.
Heck
Just
yeah.
with a little fringe and
Right.
her turquoise jewelry
Awesome.
and her cool jeans and her boots. And yeah, we had such a blast. But yeah, I got her a little fringy, beady earrings, and so we had a bunch of accessories, and she said, just see what looks good.
Yeah.
And so I got her, she had a big honking turquoise ring with bling all over it. And
Heck yeah.
it was really fun. Yeah, it was really fun.
Yeah. It would be cool to have, like, so if you want to go that route, you know,
Yeah.
if you could, like, if we had it carrying anything, it'd be cool to have it, like, carrying some kind of, like, turquoise jewelry. Something like that, you know,
yeah.
like, where it's just
Yeah.
kind of like, because that's a pretty,
Show you the picture of the
There's
earrings.
I think the thing Jesse was trying to get to, just so you cover it
Oh, thank
completely,
you.
is that they share an incredible intuition,
Yeah.
an ability to be connected to the universe in a different way,
heck yeah.
and just you know, predictions that they have come true.
Yeah.
They both have that.
That's awesome.
It's
So
it's kind of,
you know, you
That's-
want to call
yeah.
it
It's
a
kinda
psychic
weird.
ability, but it's somewhere in that realm of like we have this intuition that we know things before they're going to happen. We know things about people before we should.
and about each other,
We feel
you know.
especially connected
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
It's really
It's a
Awesome.
very special connection,
So-
and kind of without really knowing that it was weird. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Until like, it was a really special 6 weeks I got to spend with her, and it was like, oh
Heck
yeah,
yeah.
this is, we just are connected.
Yeah, and if you guys have,
here was her
like,
earrings
heck
that
yes,
she wore.
perfect. This is perfect.
Awesome.
That's
awesome.
perfect. Because like, oh my, because again, with that story,
Yeah.
like, and especially what he's telling me is that like, that connectivity is what this represents.
That looks really neat with it too.
Yep, and we don't have to get like too crazy, but we'll
Yeah.
definitely have it like with the turquoise bits and like the colors of it and everything like
Oh,
that. Let me print this up, and then we'll start poking holes in you.
Okay.
All the fun stuff, you know.
I know. I'm like, this is so exciting.
Right? It's new tattoo day. We're doing a nice, fun little tattoo on
Yeah.
Jesse today. So if we have it like that,
Love. Yeah.
yeah, that would be cool because it'll kind of wrap around.
I like it.
Hell yeah.
That's
Yeah.
gonna look
so we'll
amazing.
probably have this kind of come up right here on the arm. Or like,
Right.
you know,
That's
stuff
true.
like that. Where
That's
it's just
true.
like, all right.
And none of his are like that, so that's good. But
Oh, I'm
she's
getting,
beautiful.
yeah.
Yes.
You know, I got a
She's-
mirror right
okay.
behind us. You can go
All right.
have a look.
Oh,
see at
cool.
her.
Oh yeah. She's very beautiful.
Yeah. All righty.
Did you sign up for this tattooed wife? Yeah. Good. Okay.
All right, young lady, are you ready?
All right, I'm ready.
Now, don't worry, I made all my mistakes on the last tattoo.
Oh,
I did.
perfect.
It's like, oh, good.
Oh yeah.
That's fine.
Then you're like, that's right. This hurts. I remember this.
Right.
Words. I can't think.
You're getting that tattoo brain
I
already?
am, yeah. I was like, I can't. Words and things, and we liked it.
could sit by anyone.
Yeah, sure.
Right. I was gonna say for the viewers that don't know.
Right.
Tattoo brain tattoo brain is something that happens either while you get tattooed or right after you have a tattoo. And it's where you can't function or think or recall anything.
No.
Especially of like any importance.
I'm like, you were with me. What did we do?
Right? What happened?
Yeah.
Remind me of all the things.
Yeah.
Happens to tattoo artists too after.
Really?
Like, oh God, yeah. My wife will call me after a tattoo and be like, where did I leave so-and-so? And I'll be like, purple? What? I don't know.
Like once you get over here, I weirdly kind of like that part. I don't know why.
Yeah, no, there are some spots.
There are parts that you're like, oh, that's kind of cool. It kind of,
right? That feels awesome.
Yep.
Like, why can't it feel like that the whole time?
Right.
No. Gotta have these sections that are just terrible.
I know.
So then I started the apprenticeship program with them, and what we did is I had to work from 3 to 11, so I would get done with work, and I would head to the shop, and if somebody was still tattooing, I'd like help them with whatever they needed done at the shop.
Okay.
And then after that, I would like wait for them to be finished. Then I'd scrub the shop down, clean tubes, do whatever I needed to do, and then clean Pearson tools, all that stuff.
Sure.
And then run the autoclave, and then after that it was like, ooh, now I'm done. And then help with design or anything like that, if anybody needed anything like that. And then I'd go home. And then I'd go home, and then I'd be at home until the kiddo woke up.
Sure.
And then I'd hang out with the kiddo until my wife got done with school. And then as soon as my wife was done with school, then I go back to the shop, and then I would like do a dust up and like set up for guys and like do that kind of stuff, and then be at the shop until 3, until I had to go to work.
Wow.
Like go to work, and then I would be at work from 3 to 11, do it all over again, and it was like so it was like 2 or 3 months of that, right? And then after like 2 or 3 months of doing it like that, but as soon as I could tattoo, I pissed everybody at the shop off, because like I'd get there at 11, I'd help everybody with the, and then I'd get ready for my tattoo, and then I would like tattoo, and then like if somebody came in at like 8 o'clock at night and they were like, I'm looking to do this tattoo, I'm like, Dad, I got that. And everybody else is like, I don't want to do it, and like, if it's
You're
later,
like, yep,
and everybody's like burned out, and as long as everybody said no, I'd be like, I'll take it right now. But the thing is you have to have a supervised tattoo artist with you.
Oh, so somebody has to stay.
So somebody had to stay every time.
Right.
And so it became like a running thing.
That's how you do it. You gotta work.
But I was like, I was burning it at both ends at that point. I was just like, go. And we did. I burned through my hours for my apprenticeship, and I burned through, like everything that like Matt really kind of like asked of me and everything. And then after that, it was like, got my licensure.
Like I did.
Like,
yeah.
And ever since then, it's just been like, I can't get enough tattooing.
That's so cool.
I have to tattoo. I keep out on it, man.
That's when you know, right?
Yep.
When it's like, I have to do this.
Yeah, and it's funny too, because we hear it from our parents all the time, and as kids, definitely, we know better, because we're like,
of course, yeah.
Oh, what do you mean? Like you find a job that you love and you'll never work a day, like still work? I gotta tell people all the time, I live in perpetual fear that someday somebody's gonna come around and they're gonna be like, all right, man, fun's over. Playtime's over. You gotta go get a real job now.
I feel that.
I don't feel like I've worked a day in like since what, 9 years. I don't feel like there's never been a day in 9 years where I'm like, oh man, I gotta go to the shop. Oh man, I gotta go tattoo. Like, I dig it.
That's so cool.
It's everything I've ever wanted.
That's so cool.
And
that is so cool.
It's been a long road, and like,
yeah,
it was pretty cool to like get to the point where I could like come back to it. And
yeah.
And again, like looking back at it, like we were talking earlier, at the time I thought it was the worst thing in the world to happen.
Right.
That like, I didn't get into tattooing like young, but looking back at it, I'm like, man, I'm really glad. I don't think I would have had the same reverence, and I don't think I would have had the same like mindset that I take into it now, where I'm like, no, I'm like, I mean, I still don't take myself too seriously, but it's still one of those things where it's like, I don't think I would have brought the maturity and also like the skill sets that I learned along the way. It was for the best that, like, you know, as much as I want to like be all upset about like the fact that I didn't get the tattoo at 19 until the time I was, I think 28, 29, I don't remember when I started tattooing now, because it's just been a blur. It's like
which has made it, I'm sure, even sweeter.
Oh God, yeah. It's great. I wouldn't change it for nothing. I was like, all right, let's come back this way.
All right.
Back to the good spots.
All right.
And then here in a bit, I'll have you send me a picture, or that picture of your mom's earring.
Yeah.
Because then I'll pull it up on the iPad here, and we'll do all the little detail work of that. Don't have too much left with it now, so.
Hey, we got that part. I'm good now.
Yeah, no, that part's definitely finished. So.
It makes me be like, how in the world did I do that?
Right? Like, what was I thinking?
Right?
When I did it.
I know.
I think that every time I get tattooed.
Yeah.
Where I'm just like, tattoos aren't even that cool. Like, what the hell? Like, why am I doing this?
Okay,
what
it's
am I doing
crazy
this
that
myself?
you think that too.
No, every single time I get tattooed, I'm just like, what the am I doing with my life? Like,
Like, why?
but then afterwards, I'm like, that's
You're like,
right.
this is awesome.
Doesn't last long. It's only during the process,
Yep.
and then I'm just like,
It's like a
Oh,
quarter
yeah.
of the way in.
Yeah.
I feel like, because you're
Right?
excited at the beginning, and then like a little bit in, you're like,
yep,
wait,
you hit
now
the
what?
realization factor,
Yeah.
and you're just like,
You're like, wow, there's a lot left.
Right?
And then you get to this point, and you're like, home stretch, whatever you got to do, it's fine.
Right?
Yep.
Easy peasy. It's not even that bad.
Right?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
I think I do end up saying that at the end, you know, but in the middle of it, you're like, whoa.
We're almost there.
Woohoo! Yeah, it's not even that bad, right?
Right? It ain't even that bad. Caleb's a liar. He wasn't even there.
That is awesome.
There you go.
Woo! I made it. I survived.
Right?
That earring looks amazing.
You dig it?
Yes.
All right, you can keep it.
So cool. Thank you so much.
You're very
Oh
welcome.
my gosh, incredible. The eye is very cool.
Yay.
Oh, I love it. I think she would love it, even though she would probably say, oh, you're getting another tattoo? Yes. With your earrings, Mommy. I didn't even think about that. My bird is on that side too. How cool is that?
Man, if it was like, if all this horrible stuff that I definitely thought was like just the most terrible.
Yeah, the end, right?
ended
The
up
end
not,
of your dream.
Ended up not being all that bad for me, because like I wouldn't have been able to have this shop, and I wouldn't have had to been able to like, because we did all the work on the shop, you know, and like we're still doing work on it. And,
Yeah.
like I'm able to do that because I know construction and stuff.
Right.
And then it's like, okay, I wouldn't have any kind of like ideas to like how to manage anything if I didn't have my experiences like working at Eric's.
Yep.
This way it'll be a little easier.
Ooh. Oh my gosh. My sister's gonna be so jealous.
And now we come to the reason that we actually get tattooed.
To make everyone jealous of our beautiful art.
Yep, to piss our siblings and parents off. Take away or cover it up and stuff.
And make it something new.
Yeah,
you
and
know?
like, Tim was saying about like the Taz,
Yeah.
and I was saying about like timestamps, like holy moly, a Taz tattoo.
I mean, so 1989.
It was about
That was
1980s.
yeah, that was
If
cool.
it wasn't Taz, it was like Yosemite Sam.
Exactly, with the
Whereas-
guns,
yeah.
yep.
And so like, that's great and everything. But again, like even with like tattoos, sometimes you're ready to move on. And you're
Yes.
like, you know what? I've like grown past this.
I'm grown up now.
Yeah.
I'm not 21 anymore.
And so you get a lot of that too, where they're just like, I was young and I got this thing, and I was like, yeah, I'm kind of over it.
That's
like,
a good way to think
yeah.
about it, though, because I have a couple. Or like, I kind of do like the time stamp. I kind of like, well, this was important enough to me at the time that I put this
Yeah.
on my body. But I also like the fact, I have one for you to look at that, like, I'm ready for this to morph into maybe something else.
Yeah, and there's so much of that we can do, like, because tattooing, not only the inks come a long way, but
Yeah.
like kind of, the process has always been pretty the same, you
Okay.
know, but the ink and the stuff that we can do and the techniques that we've kind of like, generationally have kind of
Yeah.
accumulated through tattooing have made it a little easier to kind of look at things and be like, all right, well, what can we do with this?
What can we?
Yeah. Plus now we have the advent of like laser and things like that.
Sure.
So that helps a lot too. And there's plenty of times where people come in and they're like, "What can I do with this?"
Right.
And we're like,
Depending on what it is, I'm sure it varies.
very few and far between. We're like, dude, I can't do anything with it. But there are some situations where we're just like, you can do a blackout on it, which is becoming more popular where people are just like, just black the
Just
whole
black.
area
I just want all black. Yeah.
Or we're like, there's places that you can go to be like, get a few sessions of laser, lighten it up.
Sure.
And then newer ink is going to saturate really well, and it's going to pack in, it's going to cover
So
that.
is it pretty difficult for people to, someone I know had one removed and I haven't seen it, but I was told it's like gone. Is that a thing?
It is a process, I will
Okay.
say. Like, so yes, you can,
It
like,
can-
even if you're just like, I don't want a tattoo anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I'm ready to be done with this tattoo completely,
Yep.
and I don't want to cover it up. It's a separate process, and it is a little bit of a painstaking process
Okay.
because it takes
Interesting.
it's a focused laser that each individual pigment has like a frequency
Oh, wow.
that it will kind of target. And
Okay.
so they'll go through and they'll do a pass on each color.
So
if it's a
painful.
color tattoo. I will say I do think that it's a relatively painful process, but I
I'm
don't
actually a
think
little
it's
bit happy about that.
Yeah, I don't think it's honestly that much crazier than getting a tattoo.
Oh, yeah,
So
okay.
like, there's plenty of places around the cities, Rochester, that people, if they're like, I don't want
I just want it gone. I don't want a tattoo.
Yeah.
It could go away.
Yeah, because again, it's like one of those things where you're just like, I'm ready to move on.
Yep.
So we live in an age now where we can erase them.
Or we can erase.
So it is a little bit more involved because like it's not just like a one-time thing.
Right.
You can't just go in and be like, I need
It's
a
just
one
like a
laser
one-
session. It should
Oh,
go.
this is
It's a
multiple
thing.
sessions.
Yeah, it's usually like 8 or 9 sessions
Oh,
where you have to
wow.
go through and like because essentially what it does is it breaks the ink down.
Oh my gosh.
And then your body will get rid of it
Okay.
naturally.
But it's going to take some
yeah,
time.
but it takes some time for your body to kind of get rid of it. So, but even then, sometimes
I'll tell you the rest of that story when we're done filming. Oh man, this is so cool. Yeah. So does your wife have tattoos?
Absolutely, I tattoo
Good.
her every year for Valentine's Day and her birthday.
Come
So, like,
on,
yeah.
that's so cool. That is so cool.
So
How long
she
have you
comes
guys
to me
been
out-
together?
We've been together since '09, so
Oh,
going
wow.
on 16 years.
16
Yeah.
years.
So we've been
Wow,
married since
congratulations.
21. So
Okay.
we were together forever.
That's
you know,
awesome.
and then we were just like, when we were young,
Yeah.
we were just like, I mean, are we gonna get hitched?
Yeah.
And she was like, I mean, do we have to?
Right.
And, that was
No.
and we both were just like, no, if we get sick of each other, then we'll go our separate ways, you know?
Yep.
But then finally it got to a point where we were just like, ah,
You're like, I kind of
yeah.
want to now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so I took her up to, Devil's Kettle up in northern Minnesota.
Oh, cool.
And I was like, all right, here you go. I didn't get down on one knee or anything. I gave her the ring and I was like, you can either take the ring and say yes, or you can throw it in Devil's Kettle and we'll never talk about it
No
again.
way. Wow, that was like Gutsy. I like it.
Well, they have, I don't know if you know the story of Devil's Kettle, but it's got
Tell me the.
So it's a waterfall in Minnesota where half of it will split. It has a rock kind of formation.
Okay.
Half of the waterfall continues downstream.
Okay.
And it's a very obvious just waterfall, and the other side half of the waterfall pitches down into a hole.
Okay.
Where they have sent sensors and dye and you name it through it. They have no idea where it comes out. Just so.
That's Devil's Kettle.
Yeah, so the Native Americans called it the Devil's Kettle.
Yeah.
Because it was a hole that went to nowhere.
Nowhere.
And things that went in it never came back out. So they were like.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah. So I was you can pitch it in there and we'll never talk about it again. Or you can just take it and we'll be okay.
That is very cool. That is the coolest engagement story I've ever heard in my whole life. Yes. I mean, ours is good, but that one's pretty good. That one's pretty good.
Right?
Oh, man.
Try not to make it too complicated.
Yeah. Well, we have lots of off-camera stories to have, I think.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed watching our ink therapy series as much as I enjoyed going and getting the new tattoo. Love to get some new ink. But I really just wanted to show you, kind of dive into a different point of view. If every time you've seen somebody with a tattoo, you think, what in the world are they doing and why are they doing it? Maybe you got a little bit of insight into how it heals, how it motivates. It's beautiful art. There's so many different things. I love to share so many different stories on Midwest Access and Midwest Talks, and so we hope you'll tune in. Fridays, it's live at 11:30, but you can see it online anytime. And so the last episode we did, which was our first episode, was all about the Alaska cruise that I got to take with KTTC and Colette Travel, and showing you the tour top to bottom of a cruise ship. I'd never been on a cruise ship before, and so I wanted to share that sort of first-timers experience with you. And maybe you've been thinking about going, but you're not sure. Something to watch and see if it maybe is something that you want to get on your list for this year even. And next week, February 13th at 11:30 a.m., we will be talking to a sex therapist. Her name is Sarah Hancock Hall, and she is a relationship expert, and I'm really excited to share that interview with you. It might be what you think, and it might not be what you think. It's fun to see what is out there and what resources we can connect you with, all with the hope of uniting our community and also improving your lives. So there you go. There's my little world peace statement for today. Anyway, thanks for joining me. We'll see you next week on Midwest Talks. Later today, Midwest Access is going to be live at Social Ice, as well as our news crew, 5 and 6 o'clock. We're all going to be down there. Downtown Rochester looks like a gorgeous, gorgeous day. I can't wait to see everything that they've got available, especially those signature drinks, cocktails, and mocktails. All right, see you next time.